Do away with this vulgar, animalistic nigger.
Chill out, Bob. All you fools out here complaining about racism today, bro, they wouldn't have survived in the 60s. You wouldn't have survived. You wouldn't have survived. You would have been crying up and down all day long. Welcome back to another episode of Goat-Worthy Reactions, where we mainly like to focus on the goats on this channel. And today we are dealing with that big old Billy Goat. He go by the name of Elvis Presley. Let's get it, y'all. Shout out to my boy Joe Presto, OG, 79th birthday. Happy birthday, Joe. He sent in a special request, man. He just joined the Patreon. You can join the Patreon as well. Hit the link in the description box below, and you can put in special requests. So when you join the Patreon, you'll watch my journey incomplete with all these old school artists. As far as YouTube, I just put out, a lot of the popular ones, just, get you guys understand my perspective on rock music and join this journey with me, honestly, because I'm brand new to most of it. I never listened to rock growing up, so it's been a hell of a journey. Shout out to my boy Joe, though, man. He put this in the front of the line. He said, I need you to watch this before you go any further into the Elvis Presley rabbit hole. So here we are, man. This is Elvis Presley and the Black Community. That Echo Will Never Die. Interesting title. I'm not sure who made this. This is a compilation or whatever the case may be, but we're going to get into it. We're going to watch it. It's about almost 15 minutes long, so I won't be pausing too much. I'll put my input, though, on things that really stand out to me. But yeah, man, let's get it. Let's not waste some more time.
I thought he was a very beautiful, and still is,
Al Green.
a very beautiful person, and his memory shall probably forever live on.
What song is that? I need to know what song is that. Is it called Old Friend of Mine? I don't know, but I need to know what song that is, because that almost got me out of my chair. It's only been 2 minutes.
There is no room in this city for the vulgar performances of Elvis Presley.
It's shocking. I watched him gyrate his legs and swivel his hips. And our parent-teachers group feels he should not be on television.
We've
Gyrated.
20-man committee to do away with this vulgar, animalistic nigger rock and roll Bob. Our committee.
Chill out, Bob. Damn, Bob out here going on. He on the news talking. Yo, listen, the 60s was crazy. All you fools out here complaining about racism today. Do you see what was happening back in the day? Oh, y'all would have been crying in the corner, bro. Y'all wouldn't be in it. Y'all wouldn't. So all these fools out here crying about racism today, bro, they wouldn't have survived in the 60s. You wouldn't have survived. You wouldn't have survived. You would have been crying up and down all day long. You would have been crying. Oh man, these fools out here, man, got the nerve to complain about. I'm not even gonna say no names, but Bob over here, Bob would have had y'all crying. Bob on the news talking about
Animalistic nigger.
animalistic music. Yo, damn, Bob, chill out.
Roll Bob. Our committee will check with the restaurant owners and the cafes
Serve whites
to see what
segregation
Presley records is on their machines, and then ask them.
Yo, Elvis is taking hits for the Black community right now. You don't go through all of this. Let me just pull out a book real quick, because there's a special book that you guys should look into. It's called The Way I Am by Eminem. This is my favorite rapper ever, by the way, guys. But he's called the Elvis Presley of rap. So when he's called the king of rap, a lot of rappers and a lot of people in the Black community who don't know his story, don't know that this man is from the hood. He's from the projects. He's from the trailer park. He's poor. Single mother household. Mother on drugs. I hate to say it, but many Black kids can relate to this. It's just a fact. But it's not about Eminem. It's about Elvis. But I just wanted to make that correlation, because they call him the rap Elvis and they think it's an insult. And Eminem embraces it. Why? Because he knows the true story of Elvis. And I'm getting to know the true story of Elvis. And it's been a hell of a ride so far. That movie, really, I don't know, man. It pretty much just persuaded me that I was lied to my whole life.
Do away with them.
You've learned anything from the criticism leveled at you?
No, I haven't.
You haven't, huh?
Because I don't feel that I'm doing anything wrong.
Rock and roll has got to go. And go it does at KWK. We're all through playing rock and roll records. This week is record-breaking week here at KWK.
Hey, rock and roll was the hip-hop of back in the day. black people, why we always getting our music banned? That's crazy, man. And look, Elvis came through, became the king, and they was like, oh, now you've gone too far, Elvis. They had to ban it because Elvis made it hot. And listen, when Eminem came out, they was crushing his CDs in the street, and they was saying rippity, rappity, rap, gotta go. It's the same situation, dog. This is before rap, obviously. So like, yeah, it's amazing.
After this week, no more rock and roll will be played on the air.
The obscenity and vulgarity of the rock and roll music is obviously a means by which the white man and his children can be driven to the level with the nigger. It is obviously nigger music.
Everybody mostly turned them.
Y'all couldn't survive. Y'all couldn't survive in these racist days. Y'all couldn't survive. All you punks out here crying about racism today in 2026. Oh my gosh. It's a disgrace to all the black people of the 60s, honestly. It's a disgrace. They're looking down on y'all like, look at these punks. Look at these punks. Have you ever been hosed down? Have you ever had the dog sicked on you legally?
And because first thing, he had Negroes' ways. This is what they didn't really at that time. They didn't want to accept.
By. Hold on, watch out with this one. Watch out with this one. Shout out to Stevie Wonder. He's a legend. I get you. But he was caught hating on Eminem and comparing Eminem to Elvis, and it wasn't a compliment. But this is Stevie Wonder later on. So this is younger Stevie Wonder. So I wonder what his opinion is on Elvis right now.
Black performance, and he, in essence, because of at that particular time, the kind of backwards mental capability that many people had, as judging a person because of the color of their skin is somewhat still does exist. But back then it was worse, and he actually, because of him being a Caucasian brother, he was able to do away with that whole thing.
When y'all listen to these brothers speak, you got to pay attention because they slick. They slick, man. We just born slick. We just know how to talk slick. We rap. We know what. You know what I'm saying? We were made to be slick because we had to slither our way through certain situations. So we had to talk our way out of situations. Sometimes we talk our ways into situations. But anyways, my point is that that was some slick remarks. I wouldn't take that as positive completely. He was crediting Elvis's skin color of basically benefiting on the music in his black ways while not having to deal with any of the repercussions that black artists deal with when performing in this way, in this style, in this kind of tone. So that's what he was really saying. And I know this because Stevie Wonder later on years, he's consistent, 30 years later, he was talking that same talk about Elvis. He was one of the reasons why I thought Elvis was a racist and culture vulture. He was one of the reasons, because I love Stevie Wonder, and I heard him say it, and I almost believed him until he said the same about Eminem. And I said, hold on, this is where I draw the line, brother. Now I got to look more into this.
77-year-old Early Wright, a disc jockey at radio station WROX in Clarksdale for 45 years.
Hi there. Pleasant good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How do you do? This is your soul man to be with you until I get through. I want you to stand by, don't have no fear. Following Jay's show, should I play one like this one from out of here? Elvis Presley.
He rapping, bro. Playing that
Elvis's songs still get good play on Wright's program among the blues, gospel, and jazz recordings that are its staples. It was almost 40 years ago when Elvis drove down to Clarksdale from Memphis with a record and asked him to play it.
And I had been playing his record, and I had never seen him before, and I was amazed to see him. When he introduced himself to being Elvis Presley, then I went all to pieces over him. Then he and I started talking. I used to be the manager of a gospel group called the 4-Star Quartet. And I could listen to a man sing a hymn. I could listen to a man sometime talk. I did that. And I could pick him out whether he could fit in my group. And talking to Elvis Presley, I could see a great future in him.
It's no accident.
I like how they got old clips in here. It ain't like new clips of people who don't know him and never met him. They got people who actually met him, got to know the real person. So all these, let me not say insulting words because my Lord and Savior would not appreciate that. So all these people out here, right? All these people out here. I don't want to insult anybody because at the end of the day, the same Lord and Savior who sacrificed his life for me, same God who created me through the word, that same God made all these people that I'm thinking about, who I think not too fondly of. They're the same ones who was saying all this stuff about him being a racist, him being a culture vulture, all that. They don't even know the story. I bet they don't even know the story. I bet they don't. I bet they, like, who are y'all to speak about Elvis? How about the people who were there and experienced him, from fans to radio hosts to I hope they get into the band and stuff like that. Did he have a consistent band, or was he just a solo act and he just had different people with him? Because in that one performance I just saw with In the Ghetto, if that hasn't dropped yet, that reaction is coming soon. He had some sisters with him, and I really appreciated that. I honestly did, because of the timing. You got to put yourself back in the timing. Today, I would still appreciate that, but I appreciate it more in that time. Today, it would look more like a DEI situation, and I'm gonna think twice. Like Charlie Kirk said, I might think twice. You feel me? But back in the day, it was not beneficial. It wasn't smart. And it wasn't, I won't say it wasn't smart, but it wasn't a flex. You feel me? It wasn't a flex move. It was more of a, like, you heard what Bob said about the N-words. You heard what Bob...
Wright recognized Elvis's strong gospel roots. Here at the East Trigg Baptist Church in Memphis, older members of the congregation remember Elvis joining in with the choir while in high school. These were rousing sessions.
He's putting
led
in
by
that
the
work.
charismatic pastor, the Reverend W.
The man paid his dues. What's wrong with y'all, man? What's wrong with y'all? Why y'all out here lying to people? You lied to me, I believed it. And you're continuing still to this day, still lying to people. Still, especially you black folk, lying to the black community, lying to the black community, to the black artists on the come up, lying, straight up lying. How do you sleep at night? Just lying about somebody. What's the point? I don't get it. What's the point?
Brewster.
Like most black people in the South, and to whose throat God has pressed down a harp of 1,000 strings, it only needed tuning.
He's talking like a pastor. This is how pastors just naturally wise. You see? Oh my God! Keep spitting.
Elvis's voice was that type of voice that agreed with the thought of Calvary. He had that kind of bent and inclination and attitude that suggested that God could use him.
Imagine somebody saying that about you. A pastor, a wise man like such right there. Oh my God. This is how you know. These are the people who touched him, spoke to him, sang with him, praise with him. You can't tell me nothing. Oh, you suckers out there lying on.
I gave the music a different approach, a new beat.
Talk to him.
I knew that it wasn't going to hurt if I said, "Must Jesus bear the cross alone," whether I've said with one beat, two beat, whether I've said it high or low. And I told them, come on in here and put your stuff together. They came in here, and it was a glorious experience, and Elvis was in that group.
Elvis came out with a style of his own, and it was very creative. And once he got into it, and you got that feel, Elvis just took off.
When I get that feeling. I don't know who this man is right here, but clearly he's credible. He's in this video, right? And all I'm going to keep seeing now, I already know what's going to happen. It's a pattern. What I'm going to keep seeing is people of color, predominantly, validating people from Elvis's time, people who were actually there in the 60s and 70s and on, validating this man's credence in the game. Now let's listen to the people who invalidate. Let's talk about the people who speak down on Elvis. What are their credentials? Who do they know? Where were they when Elvis was popping? Where were they? Where were they?
And with Elvis doing this kind of music, gave an injection to black music that no other artist had ever done.
It was like an earthquake in my neighborhood. The whole place was shaking when he came on. And I said, how did a person possess that kind of power? That it even comes off the TV and grab me in this ghetto neighborhood.
Elvis took my Tutti Frutti, and I was very disgusted. But by him saying it, he really made it bigger and made me bigger.
During those days.
Come on now. That was transparency right there. He was being honest. Hey, you know what? I actually do feel that. I understand. He said he felt disgusted. Probably because there was a little hint of jealousy, right? Because he had a record that was big, still big for him, but Elvis made it bigger. So at first he's probably disgusted, but then he realized the benefits he got from it. And there's nothing wrong with that. He benefited from Elvis doing this cover of his song, and he probably got to meet him and all that good stuff. And he realized it takes a man to do that, right? To admit you were jealous about something or mad about something or upset or disgusted, and then to turn around and be thankful, grateful. Yeah, I like that. Shout out Lil Richie. He a king too.
As a white artist doing something, they would just say, they don't like our blacks and we don't like them either. He's nothing but a copycat. But Elvis Presley, when he came on, chicks was screaming and going crazy, and it was just like any other neighborhood. And I said, this guy's got something going, man.
Elvis had something that made him sound like he truly meant it. And that's what made a lot of people like myself like him.
I think Elvis had lots of soul. He appealed to black people. He definitely had to have soul in order to do that.
That's a fact.
I've been an artist that when his name went on the marquee, they knew he was coming. People came from all over the world. I never heard of that.
Elvis did a lot of stuff that, you know, rappers do.
3-6 Mafia, what's up? They from Memphis too. That's crazy.
He had the bling.
He
You
had
gotta
the
have the
bling.
bling when you're from Memphis.
He had the bling.
Looking like Ric Flair.
Cadillac. You know, he
Come
had
on
like
now.
gangster, yeah.
Elvis had, you hear him. Elvis he had influence. He was rap culture before rap culture. Don't get mad at me. I would say hip hop culture. He was hip hop culture. Yo, Elvis is, it's obvious, bro. Shout out to 3-6 Mafia for keeping it real, man. They won an Oscar too. They was the second ones to win an Oscar. Eminem was first. I just got to put that out there because, you know, they don't like Eminem either.
As the snow flies on a cold and gray Chicago morning, a poor little baby child is born in the ghetto.
I just did this reaction in the ghetto. Damn, that was a good reaction. It was a good song. I don't know if it's a good reaction. You'll choose. You'll decide whether it was a good reaction, but that was a good song.
Also resonates with people who've only met Elvis
So
through
they
his
sampled
songs.
I was talking about the hood. You know, they're talking about where we come from.
That's a
Paul
fact.
Beauregard and Jordan Houston are the Oscar-winning rap duo 3-6 Mafia. They grew up just 2 blocks from Graceland in one of Memphis's poorest neighborhoods.
I know my hip
scratcher.
My mom used to always listen to this song when I was young. He talked about, you know, things that she went through.
That's a fact.
You know, she had, like, you know, my mom had a bunch of kids, like 9 kids. You know what I'm saying? That's how you get somebody to listen to your song. You talk about what they know about and what they want to hear. And she know about ghetto because, you know, she lived in ghetto.
Mm-hmm.
The ghetto.
That's it.
And his mama cried.
And his mama cried. Yeah, this had me in my feelings. I listen, y'all go watch my reaction to In the Ghetto. This had me in my feelings. I ain't gonna lie. Almost got me, Elvis. You almost got me.
Thing that she don't need is another hungry mouth to feed in the ghetto.
After we find the part on the record that we want to use, we sample it into the drum machine.
I didn't know they sampled
or the
this.
keyboard. That way we can loop it like.
My first line says, first I'm broke, so I hang out with the rat and roach.
Mm-hmm.
It's still broke, so I'm sleeping on apartment floors. So it's just like the struggle, you know, what's going on in the hood.
Yeah. Paint the picture,
First
brother.
I'm broke, so I hang out with the rat and roach. It's still broke, so I'm sleeping on apartment floors. And I was off beat, but it's all good because it's on TV.
Hey!
maybe do some edits. Make me look cool. Maybe put my name in the credits.
Once we
Off
have
the
all
top
that
of the
ready,
dome.
You know, we
What we doing? What the sample sound like?
Pay out. So he starts to roam the streets at night, and he learns how to steal, and he learns how to fight in the ghetto. Survival is an everyday task. Watching your back for the man wearing the mask. I say you might get stuck if you in the hood looking like it came up.
In the ghetto. Hey, that's fire.
High off the ground, right beside a player hill.
In the ghetto. Yeah.
out with the rat and roach. And still broke, cause I'm sleeping on the poppin' flows. The junkies get up, kick when they smoke a brick. I never seen a drug dealer ever call it quits. The hood struggle is to make it, gotta get the change. See, every day is like a dark cloud full of rain.
I love that in it. I love the in the ghetto sample. I want to do a sample like that now.
So help your brother along the way, no matter where he starts.
That's his voice?
The same God that made you made him too. These men with...
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to pause it, but bro, I just said that like 10 minutes ago. I just said those exact, maybe not those exact words. You know when you have a moment when you know you're supposed to be somewhere? Like I literally know because of that moment right there, not because any other moment that I've experienced in this reaction so far, but because of that moment right there, I know that I'm supposed to be right here reacting to this and listening to this. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. And it's not a coincidence that the line that made me connect and made me feel what I just said was a very spiritual line. The God, the God that created me through the word, Jesus Christ, also created those who I didn't think fondly about, right? People who be hating on Elvis. I said that about 10 minutes ago. 10 minutes later, Elvis says, oh, boy, I got chills right now. I'm telling you, I'm supposed to be right here. I'm supposed to be right here reacting to this. I got to hear him say that again.
No matter where he starts. But the same God that made you made him too. These men with broken hearts.
Is it over?
During the 60s and early 70s, when tensions between blacks and whites were at an all-time high, Elvis demonstrated his desire for racial reconciliation in the musicians that he chose and the treatment they received.
He didn't have to do this, but he did. You know why? Because he needed to stay true to the art form, not because they were black, but because that's where he learned it. That's where he was groomed. And I don't mean to say that in a weird way, but that's where he evolved. That's where he learned. So it's not, he didn't have to do it because they were black. He had to do it because they were black, where he grew up. You feel me? So it would almost be weird if he didn't have black backup singers, right? Wouldn't it be weird? Like, hold on, you grew up around black folk. Why is your whole band, or I don't know, your guitarist or whatever, you're the bass player, whatever, why are they all white? Like, that would be weird actually, right? But the ignorant folks who are watching this are looking at it like, oh, he's just using black music. He's just a vulture. He's just putting them sisters up there just to look cool, just to be accepted by the 13% of this country. Why? When there's a whole nother 70+% at this time, 70+% of white people he could be appeasing. And he could make a lot of good money off of, right? But instead, what does he do? He moves like where he's from. Hips. What that girl say? That lady said? Vibrating his I don't know what she said, but he could have just did all the white things, that all the niceties that the white people like, right? He could have did that, but instead he just stayed true to who he was, where he was from, and he held it down, 10 toes down, and he got these sisters upstage. Well, let's see what they're about to say about this. I'm interested. Look at him. Come on now. In a ghetto.
When we first decided to take the gig with Elvis.
Oh my God, they got real people who
had no idea that there would be any racial flack regarding it. Our first racial encounter was when we went to Texas. Elvis was told by his people that, well, you can leave the black girls home.
That's her right there to the left. That's her. Man, this had to have been interviewed a while ago.
So Elvis wasn't going to do the Astro.
So leave the black girls home? Come on now, that's disrespectful. And Elvis said he wasn't with it.
Unless his girls could be with him. And he
demanded
that we be given the star treatment. We had to be in our convertible where everybody could see us. And our little blonde could drive us.
If he's racist, then why that? Why that?
That was his statement. You don't like it? Deal with it, or I'm not going to be there.
Come on now.
And I thought that was very big of him.
Come on now. He put his girls, he put his band, his people, his friends above money, above celebrity, above all the fame and all of that. That's integrity. That's integrity. That's sound morale. Like, what are y'all talking about? In the 60s too, dog. Like, what are you even talking about? This is when you run away, when you disassociate yourself from black folk. Yeah. This ain't today. This isn't the days of black people being the cool ones and creating the vibes and creating the trends. Nah, man. This is a different time.
Joined the group in 1972. They took
Imperials.
a big chance.
I heard of that band before. Oh, this man was in the Imperials? I thought they were a white band.
No blacks in contemporary or Southern gospel music. And I was... they took a big chance because there were no blacks in contemporary or Southern gospel music, and
so they were a gospel band. Yeah, see, I don't even know who this man is. Well, listen, I was born in the late '80s. I don't know this kind of stuff, but yeah, crazy. I heard of that band though.
It was the first one, and it made all the headlines and everything. It was in Billboard and all the newspapers in Tennessee, and my first. A time meeting Elvis he had a folder full of clippings of things that he had read about me. As a matter of fact, the Imperials brought me to his suite, and
this man is literally this is the rap Elvis. I'm not even lying to you, because Eminem pays so much homage in hip hop. We say homage. We pronounce the H, kind of like the UK. They pronounce the H. And I had somebody tell me in another reaction where I used the word homage. It was like, the word is homage. You don't pronounce the H. That's actually incorrect how you're sounding it. And I said, you know what, man? Listen, respectfully, I get it. You came in the comment section. You tried to embarrass me. You tried to make me feel dumb for saying homage with the H. But I had to let them know that every English-speaking country outside of the U.S. pronounces it with the H, especially British English. The English that we adopted, the English that where Americans got their English from, originally from the British. Yeah, anyways, they say it with the H. But that's no here nor there. I really don't care. And it's really just a hip hop thing. In hip hop, we pronounce it with the H. So it's a cultural thing that I grew up saying, and I'm not gonna shake it just because there's some guy in the comment section who says you're pronouncing it wrong. We pronounce a lot of things wrong purposely. We say a lot of things a certain way, and it's just swag, juice, and some of that fire that Elvis got. Anyways, let's keep it going. Shout out to my man right here from the Imperials, the only black dude in the Imperials. Shout out to the Imperials for rocking with your boy and giving them that status. And obviously he's somebody important because Elvis made an entire folder, he said, over whatever binder of his work or of his interviews or whatever it was he said, right, of his writings. And Eminem has done much of the same. He memorized all the lyrics of the ones that came before him. So Elvis has a respect for the artists who paved the way for him. He just didn't ignore them. He paved the way. He paid his dues. He got the sisters back there. That means a lot. There's only so much he can do. He can't be black. What y'all want him to do? Y'all just want him to be black or something? Or do you want him to have only white people on stage so that you can complain about that? See, culture vulture, he only got white people playing the guitar, white females singing in the background with blonde hair. He don't care. But then when he puts the black folks up there like he did his whole dang career, what do y'all say? Y'all still complain about that. So it's amazing. Ain't it amazing? Ain't it amazing? There's people who cry about stuff like that. They couldn't survive in the 60s. Different kind of men were produced in the 60s. They couldn't survive, trust me. Bob would have had them crying. My boy Bob from earlier, huh? Them niggers are going to be voting Democrat for the next 200 years. But woo.
Gave me this folder with all the clippings.
That's amazing.
And he personally welcomed me into the family. And for a guy who, didn't really know where he stood, this was very important that he acknowledged my presence and, made me feel very much a part of what we were all doing. And right away, he treated me like he'd known me for years. He gave me one of those TCB chains and everything, and I was just one of the guys, and I never forgot that.
And I've been around him with other people of color, and I've only seen him give love.
These are the people that matter.
He's very generous.
These are the people that matter.
Didn't even know.
I'm so happy I'm watching this. Shout out to my boy Joe. Thank you, brother. Thank you for sending that dono and letting me. I was gonna get to it eventually, but thank you for pushing it to the front and allowing me to get to it pretty ASAP. I'm actually very pleased with this video so far. I know it's almost over, but it does help my perspective with, further Elvis reactions that I'm going to get into. It does help. I'm glad I did see it. Someone else said I should watch it at the end, but no, I think it's better that I watch it now. It is, because I have a real, even deeper appreciation, because the people that were there spoke. It's kind of like the Bible, man. You got a lot of people who come after, right? Shout out to the Muslims. I got no problem with Muslims. Some of the greatest people I've ever met and nicest people I've ever met in my life. But those are just the people. Now, as far as the things, some of the things they believe or whatever the case may be, at the end of the day, listen, Muhammad came 500-600 years after Christ, and he tries to tell these folks who Christ was. Me, I'm gonna go to the witnesses, those who were there, or the earliest storytellers in connection to Christ. I'm gonna listen to them before I listen to anybody else. I'm gonna stick to the evidence that's most relevant. I ain't mean to rhyme, but I do rap. So yeah, y'all should check out my music. Pretty dope. But anyways, same thing with this. Same thing with Elvis. I'm gonna believe the people who were there, the people who were around him, the people who knew him, and even the other artists who didn't really know him that well, but were out during the time that he was out and got to experience him. I'm gonna listen to them. I can't believe Elvis and the Beatles were in their prime at the same time, dog. Oh my God, dang, the music was so crazy back then.
You didn't have to be of any racial persuasion for him to love you.
And you know how rumors get started. When there's a big star or something, the people will start rumors. Well, he doesn't like this kind of people, or he doesn't like those people or that people. Haters. And I never got that from him.
Y'all lied, bro.
Elvis is a whole nother thing. It's just, I think it's scary to even be compared to people in that, like.
Shout out to 50. Hold on, brother. I grew up on 50. Time out now. I like what he's saying, because ironically, Eminem signed 50 Cent. Another person. Listen, what the things Elvis did, putting all the, pushing black culture forward, pushing rock and roll forward, the way he sang, the soul, all of that, the things, the context and what he's saying about. I just can't help but think about Eminem. It's insane how Eminem is the same way. He signed 50 Cent. 50 Cent had a lot of beef in the streets. For y'all don't know who don't know 50 Cent, I'll tell you real quick. He had a lot of beef in the street with big kingpin drug dealers. Tried to kill him, shot him 9 times. You probably know that already. He's been shot 9 times. And he lost his record deal that he had at the time because they felt like he was too dangerous. He was too much of a risk. They didn't want to spend the money on him because they didn't think he'd survive through it. So they didn't want to spend the money, so they dropped him. Now he's sitting in the hospital with 9 bullet holes in him, 1 to the face, by the way. He got shot in the jaw as well. And nobody wanted to sign him. He was the hottest thing in New York, and nobody wanted to sign him. So you know who signed him? Eminem. Eminem got his tape, sent it to Dre, and said, we need to sign this dude. Eminem didn't care about the beef. He didn't care about any of that. He signed him. And along with 50 Cent came G-Unit, 4 other black brothers. And from there, 50 Cent signed other brothers. Eminem was surrounded. Someone who's a racist, because they call Eminem a racist too. Someone who's a racist and a culture vulture is not going to want to surround themselves with black folk if that was the situation, right? So I just find it very interesting.
You know, I mean, because he's such a big talent, and in his absence, of course, he's bigger than in his presence. And music marks
like anybody.
Time. So in this time period, what Elvis was to his period would be something totally different. Well, I think rock and roll, I mean, what he brought to Vegas is more than rock and roll. I mean, I think there's so much going on out here on the entertainment front. Like right now, you'll see the likes of Celine Dion and Tony Braxton. It's a lot going out here. You know what I mean? As far as rock and roll is concerned, it's great. I mean, Elvis Presley was able to do things that haven't been able to be duplicated to this day.
Facts.
Black American music influenced Elvis.
Chuck D. What up, my boy Chuck D? Chuck D, I like Chuck D, man. He gives Eminem a lot of praise. He calls Eminem a few times. He's called Eminem the best spitter. I don't know if he thinks Eminem is the greatest of all time. I don't care whether people think Eminem is the greatest of all time. Just respect him in the GOAT status. That's all I'm saying. You can have anybody you want above him, but just respect him in the GOAT status. That's all I say, man. Come on, quit the victim mentality, quit the racism. Just stop spewing hate, man. Chuck D comes from a time where, you know, things were a little thick back then. So I can understand the frustration of some of these guys. Public Enemy #1. Shout out to Flavor Flav. Flavor Flav says Eminem is the greatest of all time. He puts him above everybody. So shout out to Flavor Flav. He's from the same group as my man right here, Chuck D. Yeah, I got a lot of respect for Chuck D. Let's see what he says. He's a conscious brother. Let's see.
Duplicated to this day.
Black American music influenced Elvis. The fact that people say, well, he's the king of it all, king of rock and roll, is a slap in the face to those that made the music possible in the first place. Not to say he wasn't brilliant. I think he was a fantastic, talented singer.
I don't think he ripped off.
Chuck D, I've never been so disappointed in you. You know what it was? When he was first talking, I thought he was saying they say this or they would say this. I didn't think it was coming from him personally until he said, I'm not saying he's not a talented. Now he's owning the statement, saying basically that's what he's saying. Don't try to brush it away and say they said this, they said that. That's what he's saying, because then he said, I'm not saying he's not a talented singer, but it's a slap in the face. Like, wow, Chuck D, that was disappointing. I ain't gonna lie. Love Chuck D though, love him. But you know what? This is young Chuck D, and I'm gonna give him a little grace. I'm gonna give him some grace. You know why? Because I feel like he's learned that that's incorrect, what he's saying right now. He's learned that that's not correct, actually. It's very appropriate to call Elvis the king of rock and roll. You can call somebody else the king as well. You can make it a debate, but it's not a slap in the face to call someone who made some of the best music of that time and is the top seller, and on top of that got plenty of love from the black community, to say that person's not a contender for king of rock and roll. First of all, it's all perspective, because music is also perspective, but that was actually kind of disgusting what he said. But at the same time, these days he praises Eminem a lot, and maybe he's changed his ways. You know, he's older, he's more mature, more wiser, and I think he's made. And I'm allowing some grace, because hey, listen, I was once ignorant too. And he looked fairly young in that clip right there. But yeah, I think Chuck D is better than that today. But disappointing statement though. He was still a little too old to make that statement, if you ask me. Yeah, he look a little too old right there, man. He like he in his 40s. Yeah, nah, I can't let it slide. But I think there's been some growth today for sure.
Possible in the first place. Not to say he wasn't brilliant. I think he was a fantastic, talented singer.
Backhanded compliments just piss me off. I'm sorry, guys. Just not saying he's not the, like, damn, Chuck. That was disappointing. Damn, that was hard to hear. Who my brother right here?
First place. Not to say he wasn't brilliant. I think he was a fantastic, talented singer.
I don't think he ripped them off. I think once something has been exposed, anyone can add or take from it if they like.
Yo, share the culture. What's wrong with y'all? It's like y'all don't want to share the culture, right? But isn't this ironic? Isn't this ironic? These people complain about white people's involvement in hip hop or just culture, period, rock and roll, right? They complain about it because they feel someone's going to take something away from them. They complain about it, and then when you think about it, those people who they're complaining about wanting to be involved in this culture, they're the ones who made it successful. Yeah. The majority consumer of hip hop and rock and roll is white people. You go to a Jay-Z concert, a Kendrick Lamar concert, you know, a J. Cole concert, these people who just be screaming Black Pride all day, guess who's in the stands? 90% of them are white. It's like Eminem only relates to white people. Only white people's going to your favorite rapper show. So what are you talking about? It's amazing, bro. It's amazing. It's amazing. But you know what? In the 60s, I'm not going to get into that. I'm not even going to get into that because I can go down a rabbit hole. I'm telling you right now, I can go down a rabbit hole of why the black community feels that way today and where it started. It actually started in the 60s, the civil rights movement. MLK. There's a lot that happened. There's a lot that happened that turned into Jim Crow, that 20 years later turned into the crime bill, that later on turned into all these Obama. Woo! Don't get me started. Don't get me started on these fools, man.
He was just so great, so popular, so hot, so anything that he played, it became a hit. To me, they didn't make a mistake when they called him the king.
talk about? The only thing I want to know, was he my friend?
My boy Sammy Davis. Yeah, I know Sammy. Yeah, Sammy Davis. I know Sammy Davis. Come on, man. Everybody know them eyes.
Did I enjoy him as a performer? Did he give the world of entertainment something? Yes, on all counts. And that's the name of that tune.
He was a bundle of energy set to music. And that echo will never die.
What a pleasing video to watch, honestly. I know this is probably long as hell. I did a reaction. I had to. My boy Joe Nestor. I think keep saying Joe Nestor. Shout out to Joe Nestor though. Country, somewhat country rapper, gospel rapper, Christian rapper. Passed away, man. Lost his life last year. God bless his soul. He just gave his life to Christ, somewhat recent, and just like that, he was called up. And I say this a lot, but that relationship, I'm confident that he's up there with Christ right now. I know this is not about Elvis or whatever, but as well as Elvis, he's up there with Christ right now as well. I'm confident that Joe Nestor's up there as well. And even though, maybe some would say he left his family behind or whatever the case may be, God's love comes first. As much as I love my daughter with all my heart, love my wife with all my heart, my relationship with Christ comes first, and then my wife, and then my family, then my friends, and and then my neighbors, and then the ones I don't even know. Everybody gets the same love, even my enemies, right? The Bible tells us to love our enemy and pray for them as well. I want to see my daughter grow. I want to see my wife flourish into motherhood. Multiple kids. I want to live to see that. At the same token, if Christ called me today, I'd be ready. And I almost feel guilty saying that, but I love Christ. I kind of feel like I'm off topic right now. The video's over. It's fine. I appreciate y'all. Y'all make sure y'all get in the comment section. Like, share, subscribe, of course. And yeah, if you want to see any songs get pushed to the front, if you want to see me get on a certain journey with some of these rock bands, join the Patreon. You know what I'm saying? Join the Patreon. Not only does it support me, because all these things I'm doing, none of them are monetized. No rock things can get monetized. So I'm just letting y'all know I'm not out here just doing, he's on the rock band streak. He's just doing it for, monetary gain. A lot of people have been saying that, and it kind of, not that it hurts my feelings, because usually comments don't bother me, but that does bother me a little bit when people kind of attack my character. It does bother me. I'm not going to pretend it doesn't, because it's like, yo, if you knew the ins and outs of YouTube, if you knew that we can't. I mean, some people can, but like I can't monetize any of these rock songs. I do it because I actually love the music and I'm enjoying this journey, and I can't wait to go deeper, further into it. And yes, I am taking away from content that I do get monetized on, but at the end of the day, I'm not here to monetize. I'm here to, experience some type of joy, because if I get off this high, I do a couple of reactions and I feel a lot of joy, I'm going to take that joy upstairs to my wife and I'm going to exude more of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to take it to my daughter. I'm going to take it to, and it's just every day. The more I read the comments, the beautiful comments you guys leave, I get joy out of it. So yeah, I'm doing this for joy, so that I can receive and so that I can give as well. So thank y'all for all who've been supporting me recently and just, watching and commenting. I really appreciate y'all. Consider joining the Patreon, of course. You know what I'm saying? That's just another way to support your boy. Join the Patreon, and we can go on these album journeys. We can go album per album. But in the meantime, I'll keep whoever's requesting the hottest song. That's what I'm going to do, because it's what the people want. And I'm here to get the people what they want. We out.